Make sure your phone set to silent and or vibrate. Good evening, people. Welcome to another exciting episode of Life Stories. I'm your host and sometimes referee, Zach Sat Pearson. And today I'm joined by one of our old legendary members, a pillar of tokenism. And no, not the white people kind. A one, Reggie Comedy.
What's up? What's up, good people?
For the record, you don't have to be on push to talk for this. If you somewhere quiet, you can just be on voice activity if you want. Yeah, so I haven't told anyone what's going to be happening on this episode who's currently here or who was able to make it. So I'm just going to tell you right now. This episode is about a blood transfusion. Not me needing the blood, but me giving the blood to a white girl I knew. And her deciding that having my blood somehow altered her personality for the better. Because, well, you already know it without me saying it, but we're gonna talk about why she's dead ass wrong and how fucking weird it was. But first, we're gonna do something a little bit unique. We're going to discuss how I remembered this story. Okay, you can
So
hear me, right?
you gave blood. This is funny as hell.
First off, I'm a O, so people always want my blood anyway. That's why I'm glad vampires aren't real. I know they would be up my ass.
I think vampires would just be every fucking where. If vampires were real, like humanity as it is too arrogant to hide anything as it is anyway. There's no way people with those powers and abilities would hide that shit in the era of clout.
Yeah, but not even that. I know my blood would be like some type of equivalent of a really expensive aged alcohol or a premium rare cut of meat type situation. So I'm glad the motherfuckers ain't around. Fuck the bullshit. But yeah, so basically the situation is as follows. There is someone who I don't know the proper terminology for them. It's someone I talk to that I follow on social media, but I don't follow them or talk to them for a smutty or fucked up reason. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, the brain just goes to a dark place like everyone else does during the pandemic. And I talk to them or they have funny shit going on their TikTok. And it just calms me and whatever, But if they saw me walking down the street, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't give two shits about me or they even know what the fuck I look like. But her name, well, I don't know her name. I think I've met her, or maybe someone told me her name was Cindy. But her social handle, yeah, that's the term. Social handle is synthetic cosplay. Now, one day I was talking to my friend and I showed him a TikTok and he said, "There's really nothing that funny on TikTok." I was like, "Bruh, that's the only reason people really get on TikTok. Funny shit. They don't come for the music." Or at least, I know that's my opinion, right? But I showed him a TikTok from Synthetic Cosplay. And he's like, "Oh, you found Mia." I was like, "Who the fuck is Mia?" "You don't remember Mia? Mia? Shaggy Mia?" And all of a sudden, my brain just remembered the entire episode of Shaggy Mia. And no, that's not her first name, but that's what we called her because, I don't know, she wasn't crazy, but she acted fucking weird when she got some blood. Apparently, I didn't never realize this or put two and two together, but Mia and Synthetic Cosplay look like they could be sisters. The only difference being Mia is my age and Synthetic is like barely grown. I think she's like 23 currently. I don't know. I don't really be following young girls, well, young women like that on fucking social media. Because even if you think they're funny or you think they're hilarious and cool, Doesn't matter what people say or think. Oh, you're just trying to get to know her so you can smash, or you're stalking her. Yes, because I'm going to fly to whatever fucking state she lives in just to hide behind her corner or some shit. I hate that shit so much. You almost can't have a female friend unless you knew them when you were in grade school. I've learned society thinks that way, apparently. But anyways.
I just right away.
What's up?
I think it's just easier to be a dumb dude when it comes to that. They're like, oh, you just follow them on social media. You follow her because you want to fuck. All right, yeah.
See, you say that, but my problem is that motherfuckers will repeat that shit. And if it's somebody in my inner circle or outer circle, I'm in some deep doo-doo. Because then I have to verify or prove, oh, I'm hanging out or getting to know you because you're cool and not for anything else. And I've been in that situation too many damn times in my life. It fucking annoys me. That's why I was like, look, if I make a female friend, I make a female friend, but I refuse to assume any of you motherfuckers are my friends that I didn't meet that I met after high school. I know it sounds fucked up, but hey, I didn't see my fair share of shit. One of the nicest guys I ever met back when I was working at UPS, he told the girl whose name he didn't even know when she dyed her hair, oh, your hair's cool. He didn't speak to her again because he didn't even know what shift she was on or where she was. She tried to file a sexual harassment report on him. I had a girl accuse me literally in the month of December when I'm like my most cheeriest in 2019 of trying to fuck her after she asked me to help her potentially look for a job, and I actually found something she can do, and it was a job I'm not even going to be at and don't work at.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to
Did I mention those. I don't know what she looked like?
You're going to get those. But keep living. You'll stop, after a while, you'll stop adjusting your life for the whims of other people. You'll realize that it's a fruitless effort.
No, I know that already, but here's the problem. Social media is a thing. Imagine having one problem and solving that one problem, but because dozens of other people told dozens of other people about the problem before it got solved, or that the other person was a fucking idiot, you gotta catch hell for untold months, years, or fucking times. It's not fair. But I understand that there's not much I can do about it, but I don't know how much effort I should be putting into trying. And that's what truly annoys me. I feel like there's nothing I can do when it comes to women I like, and not even in a sexual way. Like, apparently I'm called gay if I deny or state I don't care that synthetic cosplay is hot. I'm okay with that, because most of the people saying that, stupid, don't know how to talk to girls, or they're terrified, shy, and they're probably not going to lose their virginity until they're 40. And I will tell them that to their face, and I'll be like, do something, I dare you. And I've done this multiple times. It is fun to do. But at the same, yeah, I know, right? But at the same time, I don't like the idea of my relationship being manipulated and ruined by things that I didn't do or cause. So that's why I try to nip them in the bud at the same time. But she's a special case because technically, like I said, she don't know what I look like, so I have nothing to worry about her. But Mia's a different story, and well, Mia is the story, which I hilariously me forgot that Mia was a fucking thing. But anyways, I know, right? All right, so one day Mia was trying to have like just a hangout, and we all knew we were obligated as her friends in Chicago to go because Mia was from fucking, where was it? She was from Wyoming. She was only here for college. Almost anybody, she had a schedule or because of her job, she got a part-time job, which she didn't need to get. Her parents were treating her well, but she wanted to be Little Miss Independent. You know how that goes. And she got a job where it was part-time and she got the night shift, so she had to change all of her classes. So she hung out with nobody. Her whole entire sophomore year or second year of college, she made no friends. There was only 2 other people in her fucking class. And it wasn't because she was hated. She was just on a different time frame. Completely on a different time frame. You can't hang out with the teachers because, well, that could look a certain way. And it was basically just me and like 6, 7 other people. And we knew that she was going to do something for Thanksgiving because she wasn't going back home, or she really couldn't, because the way her schedule was, she was going to try to finish college early by never taking a summer break or a winter break. Now, some winter breaks are mandatory, but that's not until you get to December. And, you know, obviously Thanksgiving is in November. So she was basically working on midterms and finals. And she just decided a day before Thanksgiving, when everyone was free and everything was closed down or she didn't have to go to class, she asked us, did we want to go do something? Then a lot of us said no. But then we all realized she asked us all at the same time because a lot of people text each other in the text group. So we just tried to move some shit around, and 5 out of the 6 of us ended up being able to go. So we went, we told Mia we was coming, and the next day, well, she planned it 2 days ahead, and the next day, the day before, or Thanksgiving Eve, if people even say that, it feels weird. I don't think anyone says Columbus Day Eve either. We get together, and we also talk about start making jokes, having fun, playing Smash Bros. And I'm just like, hey, I just realized, there's a lot of booze here, and I'm like, yeah. Hey Mia, how old are you? Now, that sound immediately means that you've offended a woman in some way, shape, or form, and she's considering chastising you whenever you hear that noise. I don't know if that comes across with noise suppression. Did you hear it?
You good?
Yeah, okay. So I heard, and I was like, fuck. So, I was basically like, Mia, before you get all huffy, let me just say, you do realize you've never actually told me your age, right? So then my buddy Brian was like, he's sitting at a table, was like, hey, actually, yeah, we don't actually know how old you are. And she goes, you guys all know I'm old enough to drink, right? It was like, so everyone just looked around in the room like, and we had a guy conversation, which means we're talking with our eyes. And it was basically like, did she tell anybody her age? No, she didn't tell me her age. Did she tell you her age? No, I don't think she did either, bruh. And then she looks back at me and she's got this angry face, and I just do the, I don't know what to say, so I'm gonna smile and shrug my shoulders expression. It's rare for me to do it, but that's how you know I don't have shit to fix. I'm confused as fuck.
You supposed to stand on that shit. Like,
yep.
Hey.
Yeah, but see, this isn't grown ass man me. This is, I'm not a teenager, but I'm not grown ass man yet me. So I'm trying to figure out the lay of the land at this point. And
all right.
Yeah. And what ends up happening is we just have this genuine agreement, so to speak. And I was like, look, I'll take you on your word, no problem. I mean, you obviously got this booze, so I'm assuming you didn't steal it. So she doesn't say anything, and the whole room get quiet for like 10, 15 seconds. I'm getting my ID on all y'all. And she walks off. I'm like, and so I turned to her, like, hey, did she phrase that right? I'm getting my ID on all y'all?
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. But what ends up happening is, I just hear boom. Ow! It's like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, man, you sound like a fucking werewolf or something. What, you saw some moonlight? I'm hurting, I'm bleeding. Ha 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 ha. None of them, well, me included, none of us believe her, right? So I'm just like, okay, Mia, sure. So fucking, I'm just like, spider sense isn't tingling, but paranoia is going ballistic right now. So I walk into her room and was like, hey, look, I know I'm a guy and I'm not supposed to. Holy shit! That was my actual reaction, verbatim, word for word, right? That's what I said. She's on the floor bleeding. She had a box of pencils because she was doing her homework, a box of pens or pencils. She was doing her homework, and I found this out obviously after she woke up. And she was getting ready to put them on her bed, but she was in stockings on a wood floor, and she's a girl who's clumsy. So, yeah. When she picked them up, she slipped because she was leaning too forward because top heavy, I guess. I don't know. Oh, yeah, she was top heavy then. And she basically impaled herself, I want to say close to 15 individual times. Like, if you saw the injury when the doctors first let her see it and shit, it looked like Swiss cheese mixed with zombie goo. She had injected herself But some of these pens and pencil shits broke off, so they had to go in there and dig around and stuff. It looked bad, man. It legit looked bad. But at the same time, you know, we were able to save her. No harm, no foul. However, she needed a blood transfusion. Everybody's freaking out. Some people are crying like this wouldn't have happened if we just did something different. And we're trying to convince some of the people there like, hey man, this was a complete and total random accident. There was no way we could have foreseen some shit like this happening and whatnot. My ass is giving blood because I mentioned just in the ambulance ride that I was an O positive or something. I'm positive or negative. I want to say negative. And they took my blood. But I got sleepy.
And some extra.
Well, kind of, sort of. See, here's the thing. They didn't know how much they needed. And they didn't know how much was going to be necessary even after, you know, she got to the hospital. So they gave her more than extra. But that means, like you said, they took extra out of me. So when I stood up, it felt almost identical to when you wake up in the morning and you get that blood rush flow like you about to fall unconscious shit. That's what it felt like. Because they had taken more than they knew if they were going to need or not. It was a precaution. Apparently, they had just come from some other place and they just didn't have O in there with them while they were, just doing their calls and doing their duty. They didn't have time to go and get an O restock or something. So I wake up in the hospital and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Wait a
Why
minute.
am I in the hospital? Yeah, that's like, what the fuck? I don't remember doing it.
Where did this blood transfusion take place?
Oh, they did it in the ambulance. Like, I was literally in the back of it. I said that. I didn't follow the ambulance. I was in it.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have a car back then.
Should have kept your mouth.
Okay, so...
I don't even know. Yeah. Come with us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was in the back. I was like, oh, God, is she going to be okay? Is she going to be okay? Like, listen. You can't keep asking that every 5 seconds. I hear that every single day. You need to stop. I was like, oh, dick. But then I saw him thought about it. He's not a dick. He's just really annoyed because he hears that all the time. I get it. You know? Mm-hmm. So, what ends up happening with us is that I get woken up and they say, bro, are you okay? I was like, man, my neck is killing me. And Brian's there because Brian followed us. Like, man, they ain't put your ass in a bed. I was like, what the fuck? I looked down. I'm in a chair. They didn't put me in a bed.
They got what they needed.
No. And the doctor said, hey, look, to be fair, you shouldn't be that offended. You more than likely saved this woman's life. And if we put you in a bed, chances are you wouldn't be able to afford the bill. I was like, thank you, doctor. I am so glad you did not give a shit about me after I gave that blood. Because I thought about it. Even back then, one night bed stay is damn near $5,000. Woo! So, and I said, oh, this girl. And I moved the curtain a little bit. It's like, oh shit, it's me. It's like, yeah, she hasn't woken up this whole time. I was like, oh, fuck. So then I try to stand up again and I buckle a little bit and sit back down. But, I'm not in a position or a situation to where, I'm about to black out. I'm drained of blood. So my muscles are a little more exhausted than normal, right? Now, what ends up happening, as I've learned that is apparently my catchphrase in life stories, is that she didn't have any emergency contacts. So we were going to raid around, or they wanted to see what was going to happen with me, but we were going to raid around and see if we can find someone or get her to wake up, let her use one of our phones or some shit, call home or something. Because remember, she's from Wyoming. She's getting a degree. Her ass is nowhere close to anyone she knows, longer than 4 or 5 years. I don't know how long she's been here, right? So, she wakes up after about an hour. Brian and 2 people went to get her some food. I try to recap to her what happened. And she just goes, what? It's like, no, I'm not fucking with you. You know, look at your stomach right now on the bottom left-hand side. Look at all the wires and tubes in your body. No, that's not what I mean. I have your blood? I was like, why are you saying it like that? I was like, I don't know. I guess I'm different now. I was like,
one of us. One of us.
Yeah, she was like,
one of us.
Yeah. Daryl was actually saying that shit. And then she started laughing. I was like, listen, you're not different, okay? You'll be back to normal in about 2 weeks. It's like, yeah, all right. I was like, so I look at Daryl and Brian and him just walk away. He was like, what the fuck? Why is this?
You're not different.
Why is this white girl or not white girl, but similar, a white girl adjacent person talking like that? Because we've never seen her talk like this before. And she didn't get that shit from me. Because I don't use, yeah, okay. That's not one of mine. So I'm just like, okay. Listen, I'm sorry this went so bad. What are you apologizing for? I mean, if I was just conveying that I was more honest, I'm like being emotional me. One of the few times there's a situation that calls for it. I was like, hey, listen, I think, you know, maybe if I had just said it in a more convincing way that I believe you when you said you were, you know, 21 and up. And I was like, and she was like, we're 4 days apart. I was like, really? You didn't believe me. I was like, no, I believed you were old enough to drink. I just didn't believe.
No,
we were
I
4
didn't.
days
No,
apart.
I didn't believe you. No, I didn't believe you. Sue me. Be mad. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I know. But like I said, you weren't there. You see this person with tubes and wires in the body, and literal, she had over 9 holes in her stomach. I shit you not. You're not about to sit up here and try to make her even remotely agitated, especially when, you know, you think you're partially to blame. But, you know, later on, I did tell her I was like hella heated later on. Like a year later, I told her, man, I was stupid mad at that time. But I put on, you know, the nice guy face. The police officers have a gun to my head face, so to speak. So I was like, look, listen, I'm sorry, okay? Please don't sue me. I'll do whatever you want. But listen, I want you to understand, this was a genuine accident. I did mean it when I said I believed you when you said you were old enough to have the booze that was there. And then here's the hilarious part. Peter is the king of saying awkward shit at weird times. And Peter goes, yeah, and just so you know, we didn't drink the booze, but we didn't bring it here. What the fuck did that have to do with anything? It was funny, but at the same time, it was just like, why the fuck are you even bringing this shit up? And she was like, okay, Peter, because she's used to Peter doing Peter things. So what ends up happening, damn it, trying to avoid saying that more than once. So after that, about a month passes, and Mia wants me to come see her again. And I was just like, okay, well, hey, well, you know, I got the new system. It's out now. Do you want me to bring it over or something? It's like, no, let's just watch movies or some shit. I was like, I swear to God, if you say Netflix and chill, I'm going to show up and punch your TV and leave. I was like, I didn't mean it like that. I know, but I really do hate that meme. So I get over there. She doesn't say it. But guess what shirt she's wearing? Netflix and chill.
Ah!
She's wearing a Netflix and chill. It's like, Mia, do you know what this shirt implies some of the times, if not all the times? Well, I mean, yeah, but it's also funny and I like fucking with you now. It's like, first off, and I didn't say this out loud. I was saying this first off. You're a woman. It's your goal in life to fuck with me. Y'all have made it y'all life's passion and mission to make me fucking annoyed, confused, and agitated literally for no reason other than it's Tuesday. But again, didn't say this out loud because, you know, suicide.
You hear that? You hear that? That's the sound of the cancel machine starting up.
Look, 2 things I know with damn fact you don't tell women. 1, what to do with their hair, because that's basically relationship suicide. And 2, you don't tell them, all you motherfuckers annoy me all the time. Even if they know it's not meant to be taken seriously. I ain't trying to go down that road. And mind you, this is before cancel culture was like an actual phrase, let alone word. So I just decide, you know what? I deserve this on some level. And I'm talking to her at this point. I kind of fucked up with you. Bro, my guy. I'm like, who are you? And I just said, who is this talking to me right now? Well, I mean, it's nothing big. This is the new me. But my point is like, look, I'm not mad at you anymore. I know it was a mistake, you know? Well, why don't you give me a hug real quick? It's like, real quick? Like, the fuck? You have to understand, last time and every other time before this, I've talked to Mia. Mia sounds like your English teacher who's 50, never doesn't use perfect English. And I'm just like, okay, first off, Mia, maybe you have 2 dark-skinned friends total, even after you moved to Chicago. What is this shit right now? Right? So I was like, Mia, listen, I think you don't understand something. Oh, I'm basically a better person because of your blood. It's like, no, Mia, no. Not in any way, shape, and form, period, okay? Listen to me, Mia. A blood transfusion transfuses and it goes away after 14 days. Blood actually does cycle. Almost everything in your body cycles in some way, shape, or form, okay? Blood runs its course 14 days or less, but usually the average is 14 days. So you haven't had any meat in you in 2 weeks. You sure, my guy? Mia, stop fucking saying my guy. My guy. Well, I mean, if you can say it, why can't I say it? Mia, first off, I know you're not trying to reference a certain word that you ain't got no business even fathoming coming out of your mouth right now. Because that only comes up in a very specific statement. Well, if they can say nigger, how come I can't say nigger? First off, it's the First Amendment. You can say it. It doesn't mean you won't get in trouble unless you are south of the Mason-Dixon line, surrounded by your fellow cousin fucking sheet wearers or whatever neo-Nazis are calling themselves these days. If memory serves, Proud Boys is one of them. But it don't mean that once you up north, someone will knock you the fuck out. Or, you know, just ruin your life. Tell social media. Just something. And I was like, well, my guy is not anything even remotely fucked up, okay? I was like, you're right, but it's just weird because it feels like I'm being used as like an excuse to act just weird. How is it weird if you guys do it? Define you guys. Why are you trying to go there with me, bro? You know that's not what I meant. I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
You people.
Dude, no, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. I was like, Mia, look at this from my perspective. You got hurt because of me. I'm trying to, I don't know, mend our relationship if there's an issue. And you suddenly decided that your personality is completely, well, not completely different, but your entire verbal speaking mannerisms, which don't match mine, because everyone knows I rotate, which is my natural state of speak. I go from sounding hood shit to sounding like I've won a couple spelling bees, which I have. But I pick where and who I do it around, not because of their skin tone color. It's because of, do I think they know the definition of the word? Because here's how I look at shit. I'm at a point where I'm damn near tired of teaching anybody new words unless they're a foreigner, or I'm tired of people pretending they know what a word I said means when they could easily just ask. It's not embarrassing. So I decided, you know what? Let me go by how I think they can interpret me. I'm pretty sure you've never heard me say the words vexatious to you, but I can promise you I got about 35 friends who will tell you that I will say vexatious at the drop of a hat. For example. So I was on my whole, look, we need to get you figured the fuck out. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what's going on. Maybe this is something possibly psychological. But listen to me, Mia. You're fine. I know you're still hurting. She was even in a wheelchair. She can walk, but I wasn't trying to have her walk. I was trying to get and grab everything I could if she needed it. I was like, look, maybe it's your medication, but you're not different like you think you are. I know that when people survive a life or death experience, sometimes they're irrevocably changed or they just have a different perspective. But this isn't either of those situations. Okay? My blood was only inside of you for 14 days, tops. But here you are, from what I'm told around other people, acting different, treating people different, not terribly, but completely different. But not in the you're appreciating life way. You're doing it in the people are confused and think something may be wrong with you way. I didn't want to come over here and hang, but I also wanted to see firsthand what the fuck they were talking about. Right? So Mia just stands up and she starts holding onto my coat. So I was like, Mia, do you understand that if there's something wrong, I don't mind trying to help you, but in order for me to help you, you need to tell me or at least acknowledge that shit is different. I was like, and she just looks at me and she pauses because she's still using my coat to balance. I do need help and I am different. I was like, okay, well, half the job is done. What do you need help with? I need to figure out how long it's going to take me to figure out how to be able to stand and move around by myself so I can cuddle you easier and possibly feel up your booty. So I look around. I was like, did she have booze? Was there booze earlier? Because this isn't like me walking in the door. This is like 20 minutes into me being there and shit. I'm like, did she have booze before I got here? And I just says, hey, Mia, were you drinking earlier today? Oh, so a white girl can't like you. Really, bruh? I was like, okay, first off, stop talking like that. It's fucking creeping me out. What, I can't use slang? Like, no. It's creepy because you're saying I'm the reason you're doing it. Or at least she's been implying that with a lot of people.
It's your fault.
Fuck you. So, I was like, okay, like, Mia, you don't mean what you just said. Let's just sit back down and let's go talk. Well, is that seat taken? What seat taken? I guess this is her way of being clever, and she was trying to lift her legs up and assuming I would just fall down and she would be on top of me, but she just lifted her legs up and then nothing happened. I was like, Mia, let's just go to the couch. And I put her on the couch. I moved the wheelchair closer to her. And we actually start trying to watch something because now I have to process everything that just happened to me in the past 10 to 15 minutes. And I need time to recover. Because this girl has somehow mentally exhausted me. And she's barely actually talked this whole time. I'm told women have that supernatural ability. I need to write something. I swear, like sometimes my best stand-up comes out when I'm bored, but I don't think to write it down. That ever happen to you?
Yeah. And it infuriates me within the next 2 days.
See, now you see why I told you I walk around with that fucking notebook. I never forgot that fucking P. Diddy joke I told you about. If it's our fault, our people's music's fault, their kids fail their classes and shit. Made sure I wrote that one down. And that was like from the start of the pandemic. I made that joke. Anyways, so I'm trying to process it, and I was like, Mia, look. I smelled the alcohol on your breath, so I'm gonna let everything that happened in the past 5-10 minutes slide. But, fucking, listen to me, okay? If you're different and you've become a better person and you think I'm responsible for it, I appreciate that. I just genuinely wish it would have been under better circumstances than, you kind of sort of being impaled a bunch of times. Yeah, and she was like, yeah, my shit looked like Swiss cheese. I tried not to laugh, but that was kind of funny. So, I was like, but look, and I'm saying this for the umpteenth billionth time now. My blood is no longer inside you, and it's been out of you for 14 days. It takes only 14 days for blood to cycle. So even though we're the same blood type, we're not on the same wavelength. What are you going to do the minute you're done with school? Go home? Exactly. But am I going to do that? Am I going to go home with you? How far did you plan this out? You know? And I was like, just look, Mia. I've never had a problem with you. I thought you were a cool person. And I know for a fact my parents aren't racist, or even if they were, I would literally just point and laugh at them if they told me they don't want me to be seen around you or some shit. Again, not a grown-ass man, but not a teenager. But if my parents told me, I don't like this girl you're dating, I'm gonna laugh. If she's not a drug dealer, sociopath, psychopath, homicidal, serial chronic obsessive arsonist, or bipolar, what, you don't like her shoes? Okay. I don't give a shit about that.
Republican?
That's different.
Okay, I'm just
saying, your ass voted for Trump. I'm kind of scared to put my dick in you.
What I just got into.
Here comes a new challenger, or I guess technically late. Welcome to the stage, one James Tono.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Fun fact, he survived winter in Texas.
Yeah, and I can just say the streets were covered in snow. I mean, I even took a whole bunch of pictures.
Yeah, snow's a new concept for him.
But not like this, to be honest with you. I mean, the very first snow I seen was around Wisconsin back in 1999.
I just like the videos of people saying this isn't snow, this is a government conspiracy. Look, when I set it on fire, it doesn't melt. It's like you fucking idiot. You fucking idiots. That shit was hilarious. Reggie, I'll try to show you that video later. People literally putting snow on grills or putting lighters up to it and claiming it's not snow and it's a conspiracy because it's not melting. It's like, holy shit, they don't know how matter works. That is hilarious.
So the next thing you're gonna tell me, they might have used the hair dryer on those snowballs.
Oh, you saw that video too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that chick was hilarious.
I mean, think about it.
They didn't. There was no thought process. Good old Tejas education. Public sector. Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, all right, so I'm just gonna get you caught up real quick. So, one day, I was on Instagram and I was talking to my friend, and he was telling me that TikTok has no purpose. Don't nobody do anything cool on there. I was like, no, but there's a lot of funny shit on there. So I show him a TikTok, funny TikToks of this cat named Synthetic Cosplay. And he was like, oh shit, hey, you found Mia. I was like, Mia who? You don't remember Shaggy Mia? And that triggered me remembering a whole lot of shit, because I met someone that looked like Synthetic Cosplay, but this was almost a full decade, I want to say, before I even knew or heard about Synthetic. And even then, you know, it's not like I've been in the same room as Synthetic, so I don't know, maybe too many filters and I didn't recognize the face, but yeah, she did kind of look familiar. And now I know why she looked familiar. She looked like this chick I know whose name was Mia. Now, I never knew how old Mia was, and one day during a pre-Thanksgiving get-together, because she was from Wyoming, but she was in Chicago for school, so, you know, she wasn't going to go home for Thanksgiving. We were just getting together. We see a lot of booze, me and all the people that were there, and we were just like, are you even allowed to have all this? So she took that as us saying that we didn't think she was 21, or at least 21. And she went to go get her ID, but she moved a whole entire box of pens and pencils because she was doing her homework in her bed. And when she moved them, she slipped and fell on the wooden floor. She was in stockings, and she impaled herself like 9-10 times. Yeah, shit got real. Shit got real. But we got her to the ambulance, the hospital, and while I was in the ambulance, I gave her some of my blood. And a month later, she asked me, did I want to come hang out? That's where we are right now, just to get you caught up. If you want to hear the full version of what you missed, it'll be in the Spotify/YouTube. Oh yeah, we're on Spotify as well now too.
Really?
Yeah, we have a Spotify page. Matter of fact, I need to link you both to it. I'm gonna do it right now. You know, feel free to follow it, and even if you're not in the episode, hey, plug it when you can on your social medias. The more people we get looking at it, the more eventuality we get with, you know, growing the fan base.
For the now you gotta do the YouTube algorithm speech.
I mean, Spotify, but same shit applies damn near.
Yeah, for the algorithm, it really helps us out, and you know, gets the channel recommended and all that other shit that's completely random, but they swear is controlled by somebody.
Sad but kind of true. Anyways,
Like,
yeah. So, she's been drinking a little bit. She can't really stand up. She's in a wheelchair for like the next 2 months. She kind of made a pass at me, so to speak, but I dismissed it because she been drinking. Also, you know, I'm kind of not guilt-ridden, but I'm in my feelings because this incident was kind of sort of triggered by me. I didn't tell her I didn't believe she was 21 and up, but I told her, I don't know if you are 21. However, I assume you are because it doesn't look like you stole any of this booze, and I know you bought it yourself. And apparently she didn't believe me based on the way I said it. That's what prompted her to go get her ID and fuck up on all them pins and shit. So now we're back on the couch and we're just talking like normal people, playing video games, occasionally watching some shit on Netflix, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, listen, I don't know why you started talking different. It's not because of my blood. And the way you're talking, yes, it is very urbanized, and you are utilizing Ebonics more than you used to, considering you spoke like a 50-year-old English teacher up until now. But don't go around saying it's because of me, basically. Because one, you ain't talking like me. Do I use slang? Absolutely. Do I use perfect English? Absolutely. But I switch between them, as I told Reggie earlier, based on who I'm around. Reggie has known me since before I was an adult. And I just told Reggie, he has never heard me use the word vexatious in a sentence. But I can call off 30 friends who will tell you I'll drop that shit out in the middle of in the middle of nowhere. I speak based on who I think will understand me. And what they'll understand. So anyways, it's getting awkward. Please stop doing that. I'm your homie. I'm glad you're not mad at me. It was an accident. You're not suing me, thankfully. But listen to me. Stop telling people, hey, bro, I'm just, you know, I'm a real different person now, thanks to Zax. Leave the whole Zax part out. Please.
but why?
Let that shit die. Anyways, so I was just like, bro, look, I'm not gonna stop being your friend, but I am gonna tell you this shit's awkward. Can you stop? And if you need incentive, what are your terms? Now, obviously, I know already I shouldn't have said that shit. So she said, well, I do have problem getting anything out of my freezer, and I could use some help with the dishes. And she said it just like that. Like, the fuck? Do you want me to help you with some household stuff while I'm here? I was like, and then she goes, I mean, you don't have to?
Got him.
Yeah. I realize it's much later, but yeah.
Why does she sound like that, though?
I don't know! Dude, I don't know! Half of the shit that's happening is literally just because I don't know how to interpret her right now. She's literally acting like a different person, and everyone is notated it.
Because the way she says it sounds like it's a question.
Yes,
more than
thank
a
you.
request.
Thank you. So, fucking, I'm just like, okay, well, look, I am not your maid, but let me be clear. I have absolutely no problem with helping you right now because, you know, you got to adjust to this stuff alone, and people helping people fixes a lot of people's problems. So, I basically butlered her ass for the next 4 hours. I mean, I didn't wipe her ass the minute she got done shitting, but if it involved moving more than 3 feet, I probably did it. And here's what I don't know. She's texting all of my friends this shit. Or all of our shared friends this shit. Look, I got a baby butler. And then she forgot that I'm in a text group too, and she goes, hey, what's a good black pun or nickname for a black Alfred? So then I just come back in the living room. You're not fucking Batman. And she immediately knew what I was talking about. And she just looks at me and she smiles and goes, my bad, bro. I'm like, stop fucking talking like that. So I was like, no, what? Fuck it. First Amendment rules apply. Just stop telling people I'm the reason you're talking like this. Also, my blood didn't change you. My blood's gone. And you're going to get tired of me saying this too, Reggie. After 14 days, your blood always cycles. So if my blood was in you 14 days ago and it's been a month, my blood hasn't been in you for the same amount of time. Another 14 days. Okay? You've been Zax free for a few weeks now. And she just goes, I mean, if you say so. I was like, why do I feel like I'm going to regret this shit? 2 weeks later, because I did regret this. Also, notice the amount of twos that keep showing up in this shit when it comes to weeks. Another 2 weeks later, I'm at a little place that Reggie may know called Ford City. Now, for those who don't know, Ford City is one of the biggest malls in the country, but also biggest malls in the state of Illinois. The parking lot alone, if you lined it up, is almost about 4.5 miles. And that's just the parking lot. It's a big bitch. So, I just randomly bump into her and she's walking. And she's like, hey, Zax, come here so I can hug that ass. It's like, I would, but because you phrased it like that, I'm now not going to come. And then I hear a very infamous sound. Please slow down because my medication is almost run out. And I was like, fuck, she got me again. So now we're walking towards the food court. And she offers to buy me a big ass pretzel. I was like, first off, shouldn't I be buying you food or something? And he's like, I don't want to eat it all alone. I was like, okay, well, look, if your medication's almost run out, I think we should, maybe we should abscond out of here and go someplace and, possibly get me a refill. Walgreens isn't too far. Did you just say abscond? Am I not allowed to? I'm like, no. I'm just glad you're finally talking back to normal. I was like, you mad, bruh? I was like, and there it goes. So she starts laughing her ass off because at this point she realizes, oh, I get to torture you with this. And you're a boy. This is going to be fun. Oh, boy. And I'm not about to do shit because, again, I am indirectly responsible for her getting impaled 9 times. And on top of it, she is currently technically disabled. She ain't supposed to walk. She's still supposed to be in a wheelchair, but she just waits till her medicine kicks in and walks around. So I was like, look, I know you're not going to open the wound up anytime soon unless you do something weird, but don't you think you should at least have the wheelchair at hand? I was like, Zax, do you realize how fucking weird it looks when someone walking is running around and going every place with a fucking wheelchair? I was like, oh, actually, yeah, you kind of got a point. If I saw somebody coming in Burger King's on their own 2 feet, but they're carrying around a wheelchair, I would think some weird shit too. It was like, all right, well, thanks for the pretzel. I'm going to leave before you make me feel awkward on purpose again. I was like, no, you're not. and she puts her whole hand in my pocket. There's nothing in my pocket, but it's weird it's just a weird scene. I'm walking away from a white girl, and she just puts her whole hand in my pocket and grabs it from the inside. Who does that? I forgot what she is. I think she was Athenian or some shit. Maybe Thebes. But anyways, I told her, look, queen of scary yet cool eyebrows, can you stop being an Saturday morning evil villain for 5 seconds? And just not be weird if you want to hang out or something? It's like, okay, fine. But hey, I do want to do some stuff with you. It's like, okay, but if we do this shit, are you going to talk normal? Yeah, no problem. I don't see any issues. Like, thank you. And she has this grin on her face, which means I'm going to regret this later. So, she decides she wants to do the one thing she never did the entire time she's been in college. She wants to go to a club. Now, I don't know if you guys have been to a club with a girl who is either attractive or you don't care if she's attractive, but you like her as a person. People in the club don't give a shit about what you think. They give a shit about how they dick feel. So, I know going in, I need to see about making sure I go to some place that doesn't have metal detectors, because shit may pop off. So we went to we went to a little watering hole. It was quiet at first. It looked like a music lounge, which is not the same as a bar. Music lounge is very distinctly different. However, after being in there for about an hour and a half, it was a fucking nightclub, or it transformed into a nightclub. And I was like, hey, you about ready to get out of here, Mia? I was like, nah, I just want to hang out for a little. And she immediately stopped, looked at me like she was constipated, and froze in place. Spider sense is tingling like a motherfucker. And I'm just like, I walked over to her, and I'm pretending like I'm about to give her a hug, and I just got my hands going behind her. Boop! Grabbed a hand I grabbed a wrist, I should say, that was attached to a hand that was grabbing her ass. I was like, nah, motherfucker. So I just yanked this man as hard as I could, because, hey, it's a bar, you know. Somebody could sneeze and it'll hit like 20 people. I just drag him on the floor. 5-6 people fall. I was like, whoops, didn't plan on that. So I stumped him in the head 3 times as hard as I could. And I was like, Mia, we gotta go. And she's like, oh my God, stop running. Heels, soar. I was like, I shouldn't be laughing, but that was kind of funny. Just because she said, she actually said it just like that. Heels, soar. Oh my God. It was like, it's not funny. I was like, okay, well, look, hey, where did you park? And I was like, so I start hearing screaming, ah! And I was like, so we just look at each other and we just like, you better jog or something. I shit you not, she took off her heels and she started holding her boobs and started running. I have never laughed that hard in my life. Bro, I crashed into a post office mailbox that was nailed to the cement sidewalk. I hit a light post on the shoulder, and I was still fucking laughing. And I was just like, oh my God. And I was like, and then we get to the car and we stop. She's like, wait, stop. Oh, you want to put your heels back on? No, I already did that. No, I was like, why did we run? I was like, I actually don't know. I assumed that we might be blamed for the scream, but we were already on the outside. I was like, oh fuck, why did we run? Then the next thing I know, boom! I just see a tire. I was like, the fuck? I could have sworn I was standing up not 2 seconds ago. And I roll over, and it's the dude who I stomped. I could actually make out my footprint on his skin bruise. I was like, because I didn't see the dude's face. It was dark. But yeah, I knew it was him. I was like, oh, well, I'm about to get into some shit. So I grabbed the car handle because I'm about to stand myself up, right? Mm-hmm. And he runs to the other side, and he looks at her, and he was like, he stops right when he cocks back his fist. He's like, is he the only guy you brought? And I'm just like, I'm the only guy she needs. I hop over the car, and I do a one-handed mule kick on this motherfucker. So we're going at it now, and I'm just like, I think I told Reggie about this, or he was here the last time in a life story I mentioned it. I Do not accept sucker punches or sucker assaults. If you hit me and I was unaware of it, didn't know you were coming, and in a blind spot, I am angrier than normal. So me and this dude's going at it. He put me in the car, I put him in the car, and I'm just going there, and I was like, and eventually 5 minutes passed. Like, legit 5 minutes passed, because me is like, y'all have been doing this for 5 minutes. It was like, tell him to stop getting up. That was what I said, you know. My coat's ripped a little bit and shit. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to walk back to the club and get the police. I was like, are you aggravated? I'm defending you? No, but this is taking too long. I was just like, oh my fucking God. I need to wrap this shit up. Now, I'm on top of them, and we're next to that cement brick thing that no one really knows the exact name for. You know, when you're in a parking lot and they have that cement, not a little bar or triangle that lays on the ground so you know where to stop? Mm-hmm. We're next to that, and I'm on top of him. So I'm just like, I grab his head, and I just bang on him 3-4 times, like, man, stop. It don't need to be like this. I'm like, bitch, nigga, you came at me. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. It's like, am I really the one you need to apologize to? So then, Mia actually gets out the car now. Because, you know, she got in the car, rolled the windows up, and just watched the show. And fucking, she's like, hey, fam, it's all good. You know you can't be going up to people and just grabbing their asses and shit. I was like, who the fuck is talking right now? I was like, wait, what the fuck has happened in these past 5 minutes? So, I get off this dude. I was like, I don't want to see you again. I'm not going to jump you or anything, but I don't want to see you again. Same here. Now, I'm walking to the other side of the car. And she honks the horn at me. She's like, wow, really? Fine. I guess I'll walk 2 feet faster. Right? And I slightly trip on a small pebble and I grab the car. And I just hear a wind whooshing sound. This bitch motherfucker found some loose piece of asphalt and was about to swipe at my back. Right? Mia gets out the car. And I was like, no, run him the fuck over. I know that sounds like a very terrible thing to do to someone. And I'm not going to say I meant it. However, if she had have done it, I would have helped her hide the body. But I digress. So I'm just like, okay, motherfucker, you want to... And then the next thing I know, a fucking mouse or a rat is staring at him in the face and sitting on his shoulder. And I hear this like grown ass woman helium type sound shit. And I just start laughing. And this idiot pulls in the arm where he's got that piece of asphalt from the ground. And he pulls it in trying to hit the mouse. He knocked himself unconscious. So I get in the car. We are laughing our asses off. She drives. She guns it for no reason. I was like, you need to stop. Don't gun shit downtown. And she guns it at like 55 for like a good 2 minutes. So I was like, stop. Don't gun that shit. And we pull over somewhere. And we just start laughing. There's a Walgreens and a 7-Eleven because it's downtown Chicago. The 4 consistencies in Chicago are death, taxes, Walgreens, and 7-Eleven. And she's like, hey, I'm going to get you some ice or something. I'm like, yeah, just give me some like headache medication too. Maybe some Advil, a lot of Advils. Like, yeah, I'll be right back. And I just looking, and I'm just like chilling in the car. And I was like, man, that ended kind of funny. And my foot starts rattling. I'm like, what the fuck? So I pull it up, and her medication's on the ground. So instantly, my brain starts putting 2 and 2 together. So I'm like, I wait for me to get back in. Hey, I got you a mango Slurpee. I was like, I don't think anyone should consume that much sugar. But anyways, hey, did you take your medication while me and that dude was fighting? Yeah, what about it? Mia, your medication is altering you in some way that's making you talk fucking weird. It never had anything to do with my goddamn blood. Oh, and then she says to me, oh, sweet, I have black pills. The end.
Sorry.
Look, I don't know.
Black pills, my nigga.
How you think I feel? I'm the one she said it to. Bro, she went from thinking having, first off, I'm a Creole. She went to thinking having Creole with some African sprinkled blood equates to you somehow becoming a master of ebonics. A whole month after the shit's, no, a whole 2 weeks after shit's been on her system. Then 2 weeks later, a whole month later, or even more time, I don't know how many weeks it's been, but she doesn't seem to realize she only acts the way she's doing when her medication is working. You would have think I would have caught it at the pretzel stand shit. Because she had mentioned, yeah, I took my medication, it's going to wear off soon. But no. I was like, you have a rare side effect that's changing your natural behavior. But it's not making you black. And she just says, oh, sweet, I got black pills now. She went on to become a registered nurse. I haven't physically seen her in about 5-6 years. Unfortunately, this is in the era when I was really bad at keeping a cell phone number. Not so much a cell phone, but a cell phone number, right? And I eventually lost contact with her. And a lot of us did, but, you know, we didn't hate her or anything. It was just how shit was. You know, this was like when Facebook was kind of sort of new. MySpace, people weren't sure if they could trust it or not, that type of situation. So none of us knew if you lost somebody, if you'd ever see them again. And apparently, just out of the blue at random, because who was it? Synthetic Cosplay showed up in my Instagram feed or my TikTok. No, not TikTok. Instagram feed. I was like, huh, this cat looks kind of familiar. Oh, well, I don't know how she looks familiar, but she has funny shit or cool shit on her Instagram. Mm-hmm. And it took literally after, I think I've been on her social media for maybe 8 months. It took a whole nother friend remembering me for me to realize, fuck, that's who you remind me of. I think it's like the second time synthetics come up in a life stories on a complete and total fluke. I go to a lot of conventions. Life is strange that way. I don't know who I'm all connected to or not. One of my best friends, I didn't even know I dated his sister for 3 years. 8 years ago, like before we met. Like, how the fuck were we just supposed to know that? Life is short as it is big. So yeah. That being said, Reggie, you got a life story, or are you gonna donate another time?
If James got a story, you can go ahead.
Oh no, James was a spectator. So you ain't got one? I mean, there's no wrong answer.
I can give it later because it's kind of, yeah, I can give it later.
Okay.
Because that black pills, come on, man.
Bro, I don't know. Maybe because look, okay, I'm one of those people that genuinely accepts and understands that people who like and enjoy any form of entertainment or pop culture or aesthetic or culture that's not Caucasian-based North America, for some reason, they immediately get called an appropriator or ethnic theft. But the thing is that that's not an everybody thing. That was never an everybody thing. That's a select group of people. And what was it? I can't remember which college was doing a study on it. It took them 15 years to go through and verify this shit. But some college was doing some type of anthropological study on this shit. And they found out that most people who even dream of some shit like that, they only get like that between the ages of 11 and 16. Literally when you're still trying to find yourself. And even then, they don't become ashamed of their behavior. They look on it with fond memories, but they adapt and they understand that there's a line you don't cross. Of course, also we live in a society where people are claiming they're transracial. Don't get me wrong, I have no problem with trans people unless you're transracial, because that's not a thing. You are not going to wake up tomorrow and become Belgium if you were born fucking African. You can become Belgium as in that is your nationality, that is your home country, but Belgium is not your ethnicity if your ass is from Zimbabwe. There's a guy right now who claims he's trans-species and that he wants to be considered a wolf. You know he ain't getting ass.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one, there's a really, really morbidly obese man who wants to be transracial and quote-unquote be considered Filipino or Taiwanese. Those people, I take issue with them. But you know, your RuPauls, your transvestites, and there's, what's the other one? Transsexual and transgender, all of them, no issues with them whatsoever. In fact, hey, look, more power to you trying to get respect and human decency like everyone else is supposed to be promised in this supposedly great nation. You got to fight for your rights. I respect the shit out of anyone who needs to fight for their rights to basically be treated humane. You do what you got to do. But you trans species and racial motherfuckers, why are you not in a mental institution? We ain't got enough taxpayer dollars to fund the people who look at the clouds and think they're talking back to them? But we got enough time to go and make a new nuke. I don't know. North America will do what North America will do. But yeah, James, any closing thoughts and statements? I guess not.
No, really. I'm just at a loss of words, really.
And now you know how I felt the entire last month of me fucking with Mia, or Shaggy Mia, as we called her at the time, because she thought she was like a guru sometimes, man, and she would put man at the end of her sentence, man. It was so annoying, man. Reggie, any closing statements or thoughts?
I just want to know, what was, you said you saw the prescription bottle that has been called Black
Are you
Pills.
about to ask me the name of the prescription that had like 20 fucking letters in it?
Yes, I am.
Bro, I don't remember. I took a screenshot and showed everybody and told them this is why she's acting that way in the group chat. But ain't no way in fuck, because you know how they do pill names. It's never an English word. They can never use a word. They have to, you know what? Do we have 15 syllables in here? Nah, let's make it 20.
All right, here's the reason I'm asking that question. The reason I'm asking that question is because I want to know what that prescription is, because the only thing that will make that story, well, the ending of that story even more crazy is if the medication she was actually taking was a placebo.
Bro, she got Swiss cheese stabbed. She wasn't getting no placebo.
No, I'm saying outside of pain medication.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I only know about pain medication. Oh,
Right.
and yeah, I did confirm her age because that pill bottle had her age on it. Me and her were like, we were literally less than a week apart. Same year
That's crazy.
too.
That's it. No closing statements for me, because you let a lot of stuff slide that I wouldn't have. But
Bro, she had 9 holes in her stomach. What you want me to do to her exactly?
Say something, but that's a different story.
I just like how I think I told you about this. The two things that are very common happen with me and women. Number one is there will be some women that is dead ass supermodel grade or just stupid cute, and all my guy friends are like, bro, she obviously wants you. Why are you doing nothing? And I'm just like, well, first off, she got a mouth. If she wants something, she can ask or she can get something. And secondly, as I keep telling people, I go by based on personality similarities, because I learned, unlike a lot of dumb people I know, pretty does not equate to a good relationship. It never has and never will. But I learned it young, when a lot of people don't learn it until they're old or getting old. So that's why I'm so good around supposedly beautiful women. Not saying that Mia is beautiful, but she was definitely fucking aggravating at this point. And that people decide that if I am associate or I am nice to a Caucasian woman, I'm trying to get some ass, or the end game is for us to somehow be a thing. I know the porn industry has warped and corrupted people's perception of a African male having a relationship with a Caucasian female, but I even think the frequency of people accusing me of wanting ass from my Caucasian female friends, it's a little bit higher than it should be. And it's been that way for 15 years. I would like to claim, as I've claimed as far back as I believe 2007, I have not had sexual relations with a Caucasian woman. Both by choice and lack of interest. Do I hate them? Absolutely not. Do I think they're ugly? Also, absolutely not. Phoenix Marie is living proof. I think that Caucasian women are hot. If you don't know who that is, just don't Google it when your friends are around, or small children. But my point is just that I haven't found one that I've liked enough to want a relationship with. And the times that people thought I was, A, they were Puerto Rican, or B, they were white passing but not actually Caucasian. Like, you stick their ass in the sun for 10 minutes, they'd be dark as me. Something like that, you know? So, yeah, I don't know how to really close this one. With that being said, this ends this very, very unusual episode of Life Stories, and I will see you guys on when I see